Welcome to Carolina Cooking. I'm your host, Tom Zelenka. And if you happen to know Bob Vila and you know he's looking for the siding on his house, don't tell him you saw it here on Carolina Cooking, because we're using these cedar planks to make up some wild salmon, and we're going to do it in 30 minutes or less. Keep watching. If I can do it, you can too.
The worst cook on TV. And the best chefs in the Carolinas.
Not to worry, we're trained professionals.
If you can learn a lot from your mistakes, you'll learn the most from Carolina Cooking.
And a shrimp.
If Tom can do it,
looks delicious.
So can you.
Now that's Carolina Cooking. Wow, this is incredible. Joining us today in the Hadco Viking showroom to help us cook on a cedar plank is an excellent chef from Columbia, South Carolina, from Solstice, Chef Christian Niemi. Hey, Christian, good to see you.
Good to see you.
And we are cooking actually on boards, right?
We're going to cook on boards.
And that's what's going to make our salmon that you see here?
Yeah, it's going to flavor it beautifully. We're not reinventing the wheel here. This is something that the Native Americans up in the northwest part of the country have been doing for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Okay. And what's in front of the salmon is the mushrooms?
We've got a wild mushroom ragout, which we're going to make out of these ingredients.
All right.
We've got a Pinot Noir reduction, and we've got some sauteed spinach. I mean, this is really an Oregon, Washington sort of northwest type of meal.
Okay, so we should get started before it starts to rain.
Exactly.
So we have now a whole here assortment of mushrooms.
Yes.
Is that right?
We've got fresh mushrooms here, and we say wild mushrooms.
These would not actually be of the mushroom variety. They just
those are herbs that are going to help us out.
Yeah, to join the plate there. So we'll set those aside.
And we say wild, however, since we can buy them in the stores, they're not really wild. These are domestic, but they're so much different than white button mushrooms.
This one's edible?
Yes, that's an oyster mushroom.
Okay.
And we've got creminis, which are small. These are baby portobellos. Yeah. This is what this grows into.
Okay.
So these are the small ones.
Okay.
We've got shiitake mushrooms. And that's what we'll be using for fresh.
Okay.
Now,
those oyster ones are great.
Yeah.
Raw, that is. I haven't had them cooked up.
So then for the other ones, what we're going to do to add really the wild mushroom punch is going to be dried wild mushrooms. And a lot of these truly are. We've got morels, we've got more of shiitakes and such, but they've been dried, and that concentrates the flavor.
Okay.
So we reconstitute them in some hot water, and we make sure that we save the liquid because there's a lot of flavor in that liquid.
How long do you let them sit in the hot water?
Probably about 5 to 10 minutes in hot water.
They start here, hot water, then they become that.
Right. This basically becomes that.
Oh, all right.
So why don't we go ahead and get started on in the saute pan?
Yep.
Get that cranked up.
Okay. Let's see which flame comes on here.
Good job.
Okay,
you got it right that time.
Got it right.
And while that warms up, let's go ahead and cut these up.
Okay.
Now on the shiitake mushrooms, and you can tell on a lot of mushrooms, just feeling the stem, if they're tough. Now this obviously is not something you'd want to eat. It's very woody, and it's just never going to cook. So we pull those off.
Yeah. No, wouldn't want to eat those at all.
Well, you could eat it.
Well, if you're really hungry, I guess. All right, and then we're just
going to slice them.
Okay. Hang on one second.
And I'm going to allow you to hand me some so I don't have to reach through your knife in order to...
Here's some the button ones.
Excellent.
And another one of the, what did you call these?
Shiitake.
Shiitakes. Okay. And so we're just chopping all these up.
Yeah.
Show off. Oh.
I'm not showing off.
No.
In comparison, it may look like I'm showing off.
But it is merely a comparison.
Right.
Yeah, I understand.
You know, if you block one eye and only watch one side of the TV at a time, and like block me out, it'll look like you're doing a great job.
Oh, thanks.
No fingers in it, okay?
All right, did you see that?
That was beautiful.
That was pretty nice. Do we need the big one too?
Big one. Yep.
And you already scooped this stuff out, right?
Yeah, I scooped the gills out of it. We call them the gills, and that's just because they fall out and kind of muddy up the look of the dish.
Okay. And this, how do you chop this up?
Just kind of roughly.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It doesn't have to be. You're not going to be able to cut that into nice slices. So.
Okay. All right. And so these are we've approved of these, but the ones that are out in my front yard, I shouldn't.
I wouldn't suggest
check those out.
You could always, you can eat everything once. I think we discussed this before.
Yeah, we did. Anything can be eaten once. That's the
Not
important.
Not necessarily again.
Emphasis on the once. Yep.
It could be quite an experience, or it could be the last experience.
But these are all approved, I would imagine.
These are approved. You
at
can
the
buy
grocery
these at your
store.
local grocery
You don't
store.
have to go someplace special to get all these?
No, you don't have to go
Okay.
foraging for them.
All right. And is the pan ready, you think?
Go ahead and put some oil in.
Okay. This is olive oil, extra virgin olive oil?
No, this is regular olive oil.
Okay.
Extra virgin would burn up too quickly.
Is this
so-
good or more?
That's good.
Okay. And
We're going to start with the onion.
onion, red onion. Could I use white or?
You could use white. You
ooh,
can use
look.
any type you want.
It's onion and 1 carrot. Is that part of the is that the secret?
That one
to
carrot
the one
adds all the flavor.
one
That's the
piece.
secret.
We'll keep it in. Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to give away the secrets there at
Ancient
Solstice.
secret.
And some garlic now, or do we
Garlic.
wait?
Go ahead and add some garlic.
All or
Yeah, go ahead.
okay.
We've got a lot of mushrooms here, so
Alrighty.
we're going to be making a lot of ragu. We're
this-
making enough for 4.
Now the ragu I usually get, of course, you twist off the top, and you mix it with your pasta. That's the
Yeah.
kind that's traditional. Apparently.
Yes.
It's exactly what they eat in
Traditional
Italy.
in the Zelenka household.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I figure that's what they eat in Italy because it's just, I mean, clearly they wouldn't tell you something that's
No,
not.
of course not.
Not
They
absolutely
would never lie to
100%.
you.
No. So,
We'll add the fresh mushrooms.
whole mess of mushrooms. All right.
And while you've got mixing those up, I'm going to go ahead and squeeze the extra liquid out of the dried mushrooms and, of course, chop those.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how long do these take to cook down?
Mushrooms take a few minutes. They will look like they're not doing anything for a while.
That's kind of what they look like now.
Yeah. Do you have the heat up high
Yeah.
enough?
Yeah. Medium high. You want high?
High.
Okay.
And eventually they'll start to lose their liquid. They kind of hold their liquid for a while, and then when the heat hits a certain point, they release it, and you'll see the difference.
Okay. We don't have to drive them around for 300 miles to get them to
No.
release their liquid or anything like that?
No, I'll tell you what, in
All
the
right.
meantime, while that's sauteing, why don't you go ahead and we'll start the Pinot Noir reduction
Oh,
that we'll finish
good.
the dish with.
Okay.
And put that in a saute pan or in a saucepan.
And this we're just bubbling down.
Yeah, we're just going to reduce this down.
how
We're going
much
to
do
take
you
probably
want?
like 2 cups,
Tell me when.
a little bit more, right there.
Okay.
And we're going to let that simmer.
Alrighty.
And you want to be careful because this could light on fire, and we will get a flame.
Oh, fun. It could or it will.
Tom, would you like it to light on fire?
Yeah, do we need it to light on fire? Is it possible?
It might not just yet. It has to get warm.
Oh, darn. Okay. All right, well, we'll continue to let this cook up, and then we'll be adding in our wild mushrooms. And when we come back, we're going to be working on our salmon, I believe.
Yep.
When Carolina Cooking continues.
You can find the secret recipes of the best chefs in the Carolinas, all in one book, the Carolina Cooking Cookbook. Find the Carolina Cooking Cookbook in Amazon.com and our website, carolinacooking.tv.
Calling it done?
Yep.
Welcome back to Carolina Cooking. I'm here with Christian Niemi from Solstice. And you can see our wine reduction is reduced down to...
Perfect.
Got cough syrup? Is that what we're looking for? A little
Yeah,
bit?
pretty much, yeah.
Okay, that's the image I got here.
Never looked at it that way, but yeah.
it's about the thickness of cough syrup.
that's high-end
And so
cough syrup
all
there.
done there, and well, I got a little on the spoon.
Probably a little hot. Yeah, good.
Wow, woo,
Hot?
dry and tart.
Yes. That's
Woo.
what we want because this is going to be rich.
Yeah,
And
you could have warned a guy beforehand that it was going to be.
What was the point of that? That
Dry
wouldn't
and
be
tart.
as much fun. Okay,
Ah.
now we've got our,
Woo.
these have sauteed. We're gonna go ahead and deglaze the pan
Okay.
with some red wine.
We're making smoke, but no fire.
And we've got a little bit of veal stock here. You could use beef broth, you could use chicken broth,
And
or
by,
you could just stay with wine.
By beef broth, you mean those little cubes that you get?
No,
in the,
no.
You don't. You
I
can't
would say
use those.
no, the cartons of beef broth that you can get next to the cartons of chicken broth,
But not like little cubes.
not the little cubes. And now we're gonna add the saved, we call it mushroom liquor.
Oh, mushroom
is,
liquor.
This is the this is all the juice from the dried mushrooms.
I would love to get a little bottle of alcohol and mix up a little drink with mushroom
Liquor.
Yeah.
We're gonna add
Sure,
a
that'll be as good as drinking that.
reduced wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Good pinch of salt.
Okay.
We're going to add some cream. Add about half of that cream.
Does this need to be warm, cold?
Yes.
Doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. So yes to both.
Yes to both.
Half the cream?
Right there. Perfect.
All right. Hey, is this like a hunter sauce?
Somewhat like a Huntsman, yeah.
All right. Just,
Yeah, look at
I
you
know.
pulling that
See,
out.
I
Huntsman's.
lived in Germany for a little bit, and we had Jaeger Schnitzel, and that means with a hunter sauce.
With a hunter sauce, and it
looks
always has
a
mushrooms
lot
in
like
it.
this. Mushrooms, and it
Exactly.
looks like that. See? Putting 2 and 2 together right here on the
Excellent.
show.
And coming up with the right number at the end. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna add our herbs now. We're gonna add some fresh rosemary and some fresh thyme
Okay. To this,
to that,
because those are awful far over there.
and we're also going to start searing the salmon. I'm gonna have you start doing that.
Oh, sure.
We've
yeah.
got a nice hot pan,
Okay. And it's smoking.
smoking hot.
That's how we know it's
there
hot.
we go.
I thought we were putting these on wood planks, though.
What we're gonna do is we are going to sear off the top of it. So we're gonna season with a little bit of salt,
Okay.
a little bit of pepper. You can do the
Ooh,
pepper,
That's my favorite
and
part.
just sear the tops of these.
All right. And throw them in. Try to throw them
Carefully,
away
yes.
for yourself.
That's
so you
hot
don't
oil
burn
in there. Be
yourself.
careful.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Now, the name of your restaurant, Solstice.
Yes.
I'm going to go out on a limb, but it does have anything to do with these seasons?
I hadn't thought of that. But you know
Oh,
what?
You should do that. It should be like seasonal,
That's
where
a
you
gr-
use
that's a
all the
great
seasonal
idea.
different. Yeah.
I wish I had something to write
Except
on.
I think you'd have to call it Solstice for a little while, and then I think actually you'd have to call it Equinox for a little bit. I'm not sure, but I think.
Yeah, I think it'd be best. I think I've found with restaurants it's best to keep the name the same.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm just, And then you could have eggs that everybody could try to set on their tables and rest them. Like, how Cracker Barrel has the pegs? And you could have the egg that everybody's trying to rest.
That's a great idea, Tom. All right, we've got one side seared.
That's another idea that I've given to a chef that's just gone straight in the wastebasket.
Yeah.
They're good ideas.
It's a great idea.
Okay.
Hey, I've got it up here. I
Yeah.
saved it. I
Okay.
saved that one.
Good,
so.
good. I expect when I come by to see an egg,
We're gonna
at
do
least
that.
on my table.
All right, we've got it on the cedar plank now.
Okay. And that's it. We just
this is
seared
it.
the top.
We're going to go into a 500-degree oven.
Oh, isn't this nice that we're holding our board together?
Isn't that sweet?
It's like in some countries we would be wed, yeah, but not here. Not in
here.
this country. Maybe in Massachusetts, but
Yeah.
not here in this country.
Into a 500-degree oven. This is gonna
A tangent.
this is gonna steam the salmon done the rest of the way,
And we can
while
just-
imparting the flavor of the cedar.
Okay, and just leave this bubbling.
We're gonna let that simmer so it reduces down a bit.
And there's no chance of this catching fire because you've soaked it in
We've
water.
soaked it in water overnight.
Okay, alrighty.
Okay.
And so this we can put on the grill.
You can put that on the grill also.
We
if
can
you
put
had
it-
an outdoor grill, you could put it on that. I wouldn't
Okay.
put it over direct heat. Put it over indirect heat, and we'll do the same thing as we're gonna do here in the oven.
Okay, all right. So if you'll get the door for me.
Of course.
And I'll walk it back here. All right, and again, I wasn't paying attention because I was still on my tangent. The temperature of the oven is?
500 degrees.
And how long do we leave it in there for?
We're gonna leave it in there for about 10 minutes.
Okay, alrighty. And so, so now we just can sit here and watch our
Watch our ragu.
ragu bubble down. And when we come back, I'll be talking with Eris Ragazeas and find out which wine he has paired with our salmon when Carolina Cooking continues.
The Carolina Cooking Cookbook is in stores now. You can find the secret recipes of the best chefs in the Carolinas, all in one book, the Carolina Cooking Cookbook. Find the Carolina Cooking Cookbook in Barnes & Noble, Target, Borders Books, Amazon.com, and our website, carolinacooking.tv. That's right, carolinacooking.tv. All the recipes you've seen on the show, wine pairings, advice from the chefs, and Tom. Get the secret recipes of the best chefs in the Carolinas in the Carolina Cooking Cookbook.
Hi, welcome back to Carolina Cooking. I'm here with our wine aficionado, Eris Ragazeas. And Eris, we're cooking our salmon on a cedar plank, and it's going to impart just that cedar flavor into the salmon too. So what have you picked that's going to complement not only salmon, but cedar?
A red wine.
Really? Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Is that because the salmon's...
The salmon goes very well with red wine, especially Pinot Noir.
Okay.
And it's one of the classic combinations, and that's why I picked Pinot.
Okay.
Now, what I picked was a Witness Tree Vineyards Pinot
Yep.
Noir. Now, these people are from Oregon, from the Willamette Valley. And the Willamette Valley is basically America's challenge to Burgundy. It's an entire region that is devoted to Pinot Noir. In California, they make excellent Pinot Noir, but the vineyards are scattered all over the state. The Willamette Valley is one continuous great Pinot Noir vineyard.
Okay.
And we're making some very, very good wines in the Burgundian style. California makes the wines a little bigger and heavier, but the people from Oregon, especially the Willamette Valley, make a more lighter style, a little more elegant, but no less flavorful.
Okay, so this is going to be full of flavor. It seems to be a little darker than some of the Pinot Noirs you brought here.
Oh,
yeah, you can
that just
smell
comes
it.
right out. That ripe
does.
Bing cherry, a little hint
I
of the
got a
sweet
little
oak.
Bing Crosby, but I'm sure there's some Bing cherry in there too.
Light on the palate,
that is delightful, yeah.
but yet round and rich, full flavored.
It finishes off. I mean, the tannins you finish off on it, but they don't immediately hit you, and so this is nice, mild. It's a nice cross between the white wine world and the red wine world.
Absolutely.
Right?
You know, this has got the body and richness of a red wine, but it's got the crispness, but not astringent palate of a white.
Excellent choice again, Eris. I think this is going to do nicely for both our cedar flavors and our salmon flavors. And speaking of which, I left this salmon in the oven. Of course, now I got to go back and check on it. So that's what I'm going to do when I return to Carolina Cooking.
Go to carolinacooking.tv for the recipes featured on this show. Plus, on carolinacooking.tv, you'll find more information on the wines, chefs, and foods of Carolina Cooking.
Welcome back to Carolina Cooking. I'm here with Christian Niemi from Solstice in Columbia, South Carolina. And once again, we have found ourselves holding something together. And in some countries, it would mean we're married because we're holding an oven door together. So inside is our salmon all cooked up. That looks good. And the board hasn't caught on fire either, which I think is...
No.
Now, how many times can you use these boards, by the way?
You can use them until they're charred. I mean, you don't want them to get to the point where they're so charred that all they're doing is imparting a smoky taste. But you can use them as they get black in places, but every time you soak them in water, they're going to rehydrate. But that's the beauty of this, of using these that you buy at your local hardware store, untreated cedar shingles, instead of going to your gourmet store, is that these cost like less than $1 a piece. Whereas if you buy a pack of 4 at your name brand gourmet shop, you're going to pay $20 for 4 of these, which you're going to have to throw out just as often. So,
how do you know the salmon's done?
You just know.
Oh, you just know.
We just did it for 10 minutes.
Yep.
And because it's 1 inch thick, at that temperature, it's going to take about 10 minutes.
Will it be firmer? Will it flake off? Can you just open it up and look inside?
Yeah, if you can, if you want. Yeah, until you learn, where, how done things are. It's the same with steaks,
So if it opens up like that, right there.
Yep.
And it should just be what, lightly pink in the center?
Lightly pink in the center.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
All right,
That's
so
perfect.
this is not the piece that then we'll use. We'll
use
leave that for the crew.
Let's use a pretty.
Yep. Okay, so am I going to be putting the piece down first, or?
We can put the piece on the plate, but we're going to also be cooking some
that's right.
spinach here.
Some spinach needs to go.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and we'll put this on the plate.
All right.
All right.
And that's ready to go. We can set that over to the side, and we can concentrate on making our spinach, because we do have one last step, and we do have a pan that's about
Nice
ready
and
to
hot.
warp and be on fire. So.
Got some olive oil.
Okay.
And we're going to go ahead and put the spinach in right away.
All righty. And this is what, baby spinach, regular?
Regular spinach.
Okay.
It's going to pop and crackle.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead. Spinach needs salt, definitely needs salt.
Okay.
And we're going to put some garlic in here too, but we didn't want to put it in right away because with the hot oil, it would burn before the spinach was done. And you'd get that burnt garlic taste, and we really want to kind of stay away from that.
Do we need any pepper?
Sure.
Oh,
I know you like pepper.
All right. There we are. And
just toss it.
Just keep letting it. Oh, toss it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
boy.
Fold it over like an omelet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now at this point, we're going to go ahead. We'll add our garlic to it.
Okay.
Sprinkle that around. Because it doesn't take long. This is very quick.
And we don't have to add any more extra liquid to it. We don't have to add wine or...
Just to make it a little richer, we're going to add some butter. Tablespoon of butter.
Nice.
Let that work in.
And try to flip it again.
Try to flip it again. You got it.
Oh,
attaboy.
Like an omelet. There we go.
That's great.
Okay.
Now, we're at the point now where, honestly, that really, to me, is done enough. We don't want to cook it to death.
Oh, all right. So let's get it on the plate. Here, I'll, well, I was going to help out.
Here,
no,
you
just supervise.
Yeah,
I would put it there.
You can get the mushroom ragout onto it. We'll
Okay.
set this pan aside.
All right. Mushroom ragout. And that's going in the front.
Yeah,
Okay.
nice healthy portion of that.
All right.
All those different mushrooms.
All right. Do I need any of the juice?
Some of the juice.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
We-
I didn't save a...
Well, we've got enough for 4 people here, and we're
Good.
putting half of it onto one. So
Okay.
the last thing we'll do is we'll take some of our wine reduction
Ooh, I'm sorry about that. I know how you like clean edges.
and drizzle a little bit of that on there.
All righty. And that's from the Pinot Noir that's been
Reduced.
reduced. Little cheese on
Little
top.
cheese. This is some crumbled goat cheese.
Okay. And a little thing of thyme.
Time. Sprig it up.
Speaking of which, we are out of time, so I need to let you know that if you'd like to know more about our recipe or our wine or our chef or Solstice, the restaurant, visit our website at carolinacooking.tv. I'm Tom Zelenka here with Chef.
Christian Nemi.
Thank you. Saving me at the end. And that's Carolina Cooking. Looky there.
Go to carolinacooking.tv for the recipes featured on this show. Plus, on carolinacooking.tv, you'll find more information on the wines, chefs, and foods of Carolina Cooking. That's carolinacooking.tv.
Carolina Cooking is filmed on location at the Hadco Viking Showroom at 101 West Worthington Avenue in Charlotte, North Carolina. To find more information or a Viking showroom near you, call 1-800-241-9152 or visit hadco.net.